Hi everybody, this is just another quick video on installing speakers, either single or twin speakers in your locos. So if you're thinking about replacing a smaller speaker with something like this mega bass speaker, then you need to be aware of what your decoder is capable of handling and what speaker it would need in terms of ohms. And as mentioned, there's a couple of ways of connecting speakers together. For example, these two iPhone speakers, either parallel, that's not easy for me to say, or in series. Now, in a previous video I mentioned if you put two speakers together, you divide the ohms by the number of speakers. For example, these are supposed to be 8 ohms, and they're not quite 8 ohms, and I won't go into why. So you have two 8 ohms, so 8 divided by 2 is 4 ohms. Now if your speaker can handle 4 or 8 ohms, then that's fine. If you solder them in series, then you would double the ohms. So 8 plus 8 is 16, so you'll have 16 ohms. The difference between parallel and serial in this case would be 16 ohms. The volume would be slightly lower than if it was 8 or 4 ohms. The difference is negligible, but there is a difference. For example, if you had a 100 ohm speaker and you installed it, connected it to this 8 ohm decoder, then the volume would be considerably lower. You can connect an 100 ohm speaker to a decoder that requires 8 or 4, but you cannot, under any circumstances, connect a 4 ohm or 8 ohm speaker to a decoder, for example a Locksound 3.5 that requires a 100 ohm speaker, because it needs that greater resistance. If you were to put a 4 or 8 ohm speaker with it, you would damage the decoder itself. So it's very important that you understand your decoder. Most modern decoders nowadays are either 4 or 8. This Zimo decoder will take 4 or 8 ohms, which is why I've soldered these together in parallel. So in other words, it's plus to plus, minus to minus, and then there's two feeds going in this case to the circuit board, which is underneath this decoder speaker. So the 8 ohms, I would get greater volume than if I put them in series and got 16 ohms. I hope that makes sense to people. If you need any specific information, please ask. The best advice I can give you is to make sure you fully understand your decoder and the decoder's requirements. Again, if you want to just install a single speaker, or you want to install twin speakers like this, I have to say, when I tested this with a speaker at either end, the quality of sound, even with these iPhone speakers, are very, very good. I was very impressed with it. But I thought I'd quickly show you this as a sort of recap on what you need to do if you're upgrading speakers in your locomotive. Fully understand your decoder's requirements before you decide on installing the correct speaker. I hope this was helpful. And again, if you need specific information or you need advice before you commit to speakers, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Thanks very much for your time.